I'm here with Albert Helmig, CEO of House. Albert, how do you think the challenges facing the industry have changed in the last year?
Well, there's been a dramatic shift over the last 5 years. Basically, everything's been east of the Suez demand. So that's where the industry has concentrated a lot of development and new market perspective.
And how big a risk do you think there is of a major supply gap opening up in the next 5 years due to underinvestment, geopolitics, or other factors?
I typically discount that pretty severely. From the perspective, I've been in the oil and gas now since the middle 80s, and we typically overestimate demand and underestimate supply. And supply is always pretty visible at a price. So I'm not quite the one that underinvestment in long-term projects is really a headwind to supply, particularly with the amount of fracking and easy access you see out of the
Let's
US.
look back to demand. I mean, do you think we'll see peak oil demand coming anytime soon?
Well, peak oil demand basically, from my perspective, is a function of transportation fuels. So that evolves basically into how fast you think electric vehicles, penetration, how they penetrate. And they're a completely different thing than oil and gas. The supply chain to create the power plant for electric vehicles has a lot of risk in rare metals in very difficult locations. So I think some of the bottlenecks to the adoption of electronic vehicles is infrastructure and then also the supply chain of creating the power plant, if you will.
And looking to gas, I mean, what's your view on gas as a destination fuel in the energy transition as much as a transition fuel or a bridge fuel?
The destination gas scenario is the continued evolution. As we have more gas, there's lots of gas, there's lots of demand, and the term contract, what was hard term contract previously, has sort of disappeared. It's now more of a 5 to 10 year term contract versus 20 or longer. So as we get more short-term contract, and the majors who have materially changed their portfolio over the last 5 years into gas, they're going to be major players in destination pricing. So I think that's a natural evolution of pricing.
Fantastic. And finally, would you care to hazard a guess where the oil price might be by the end of the year?
Yes, as a commodity trader, we always have an opinion. So I'm sort of right where it is. It's been interesting that the last run-up of approximately $8, which is really on the back of the Iranian scenario of downward production, etc. But the rally, the spread market did not go into deep backwardation. So it's hard for me to predict that prices can go higher without a steepening backwardation. So the market's basically flat on a forward curve. So I think it's a little toppy here. And it's subject in sort of a balanced equation here of slight backwardations and slight contango. So I think the price is going to be pretty steady for the fourth quarter.
Well, thank you very much, Albert.
My pleasure. Thank you.